Hi everyone, happy Wine Down Wednesday. I am Sistah Scifi, CEO and founder of Sistah Scifi. If somehow you don't know, Sistah Scifi is the first Black-owned bookstore focused on science fiction and fantasy. And today I'm working hard to make Wednesday your new favorite day of the week. Yay! So first off, let me know how your week has been or how your Wednesday has been. Either one of the two while we wait for Nisi Shawl to join to discuss Nisi Shaw's first middle grade fantasy speculation. I'm enjoying it. Winna is hella dope, and extra bonus, the book cover matches the Sistah Scifi bookmarks. So as we wait for Nisi, I got excited discussing speculation. Let me know how your week. Oh, okay. Look, I see Nisi. Let me know how your week has been in the chat. Your week and your Wednesday. Let me know how it's been in the chat. Hi, Timothy. How are you? How's your week been? And I will send the request to Nisi. Nisi, you should have just gotten an invite. Hey, Grant. How are you? While Nisi joins, please let me know in the chat how your week has been, how your Wednesday has been. Yay! So, Nisi, I think you just need to flip the camera around.
Tried.
Yeah,
Okay. So the deal is, last time I had somebody had loaned me their
camera stand or camera or
yes,
phone
I
or
do
something.
not have that. I don't have that.
Sorry. No, you're fine. It's only 50 minutes, so you can hold it. So you're
Okay.
good. You look great.
Okay.
And it looks like you're facing a window because the lighting looks amazing. So yeah, just keep your camera, you keep your phone right where it is. And sorry, last time I totally forgot about that. So yeah. How you feeling today?
Pretty good. I just was looking at my cat, but she's not bothering me at the moment. So.
So hopefully we'll be on here for about 50 minutes, so hopefully she'll continue to not bother you. I was asking people as they join how their week has been. Osiris says, stressful week, lots of forces piled up on the planetary grid pushing through. Wednesday calming a lot of stuff, so I'm glad Wednesday is calming stuff down. How's your week been?
I did a wealth ceremony on Monday, and the next day I got a check in the mail for $24,000.
Oh my God, what was that ceremony? How do I sound?
Oh, that was because of selling my mom's estate.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
it wasn't completely unexpected, but I'd like to see that chain of causation. Yeah.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Well, yay. I'm here for all that abundance. And glad that your week sounds like you're moving in abundance. Timothy says week is going well, beginning work on a new painting commission for a friend right now. And that my canvases came in. Hope your week is well, and hope you enjoyed the Black History Month. So yes, Timothy, we did. Okay. So before we do anything else, Nisi, for those who don't know, let's start off with you introducing yourself.
Okay, so my name is Nisi Shawl, and I really hate introducing myself.
I'd rather do anything else. Okay, then I will introduce you. So Nisi Shawl is an amazingly talented speculative fiction writer with a focus, I would say, on science fiction, but feel free to correct me. I loved, enjoyed reading Everfair, and Skinning is coming out soon. That's one of my favorite works by Nisi Shawl. But Nisi has written profusely. Nisi has also edited the short story collection New Sons, and New Sons 2 is coming out this year because I saw an arc on your Instagram page. Did I make up this year?
Yeah, that's coming out in like 3 weeks.
Okay, so it is this year in 3 weeks. So coming out soon. So if you enjoyed New Sons 2 is out there. Nisi goes by they, them
Yes,
pronouns.
yes, because I identify as gender fluid. So, like, if somebody calls me she, her, they're about hitting about 50% right.
Okay, I'm here for it. And Nisi resides in the Pacific Northwest. You mentioned the cat earlier, so with cats
Mhm.
and an amazing chosen family. What else should I add?
I think that's it. Editing, writing, that's really pretty much it, like that's kind of what I do. Take walks, that's it.
I'm here for it. Did you take a walk today? How's the weather in Seattle? How's the weather where you're at?
It snowed this morning, so I did not take a walk this morning. My cat and I, we looked out and we're like, no, no, no.
I don't take a walk when it's raining, so I definitely would have not taken a walk if it were snowing. I was talking to somebody and they're like, "Yeah, it might snow tomorrow." And I was like, "Oof, that's intense." Um, so yeah. Somebody co-wrote the we. Okay. You're also. It looks like you're also giving a question mark face. Let me see.
Yeah, yeah. What?
Okay, good. I was like, the Reed Queen. Thank you for that. Oh, okay. The Reed Queen gives additional context. Co-wrote the seminal "Writing the Other" is what.
Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
yeah. Writing the other, and I teach classes from the writing the other perspective, and yeah, cool.
Awesome. Okay, great. Thank you. Um, oh, okay. The Read Queen is like there's stuff let me know there's stuff that I miss. One of the founders of the Call Brandon Society. Yes, the Read Queen, please drop all the facts. Keep me honest out here in these streets.
No, this is why I hate introducing myself because I forget stuff, right? I'm teaching at Hugo House, going to be teaching at the Hurston Wright Foundation this summer. So what? A bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Hugo House is an amazing literary organization. So if you're anywhere near Seattle or anywhere in the world, check that out. So yeah. Oh yeah. So awesome.
Yeah, and the courses
So,
are online, so really anywhere in the world, like you said. Yeah.
yes, here for anywhere in the world. And there's and the Read Queen is keeping us super honest. The Read Queen also says Hurston Wright applications are currently open. So if you're looking to apply to stuff, now is the time. Don't wait, don't hesitate. The Read Queen also asks, are you teaching at Clarion West this year?
I'm not. I'm on the board for Clarion West, so I can't teach. It's a conflict of interest.
Awesome. I'm the Read Queen. If you have any other questions, comments, or additional insights, please drop them in the chat because this is great. That's why we're here, and that's why I believe in doing stuff in community. So, yeah, awesome. Anybody else have any other questions for Nisi? They'll come up. There's a bit of a delay. Speculation.
Yes.
So they're like that. I might have a lot of questions for you. But before I go into questions, I just need to share something. So I get a lot of like unsolicited arcs, right? And so this one came from Lee and Low, and I took it out the envelope and I was like, yes. Like I saw this and I was just like, the answer is yes. Yes. Between the cover and the name Nisi Shawl, I was like, yes, the answer is yes. And then I was like, oh, it's speculation because, the story is about the glasses. And I was like, I love Winna. Um, I'm also an older sister, so like that really resonated with me.
the older sister, you love your younger sibling, but you're like, I love you so much. So yes. So I'll start with my first question. This is, from what I've read, and correct me if I'm wrong, your first middle grade novel. What
Yeah.
prompted what prompted exploration in this genre for you?
Well, I've always thought that childhood was a really important part of our life. You know, subjectively, it's like a third of our lives, you know, and yet people kind of tend to ignore it. So I wanted to write about it, and why not write about it for the people that are in the midst of it? Also, I had, you know, started as a little tiny geek reading books, reading magic books. And so Edward Eager was one of my idols, and he wrote a ton of middle grade stuff. Of course, I had to emulate that.
Um, I love that, but was it? Do you think, since typically you write adult fiction, right? Versus, I can consider it not adult like explicit, but adult like not for new
Yeah,
adults or young or kids, right? So was it a transition, like doing middle?
not, not really, because a lot of the time the fiction that I write for adults focuses on a kid, you know, like a young female protagonist, like the Rainses. That's a story for adults, but the protagonist is 10 years old, you know. Watermelon, another one of my short stories. So yeah, it wasn't the voice, I think, is what I remember thinking like and talking like at that time. And I really try to remember. I have no patience for people who say they don't like children, because you were a child, and in some ways you still are a child.
That's a really good reminder. Um, I should dig deeper into that, but so you actually, Winna actually mentions and reads Edgar Eager books, and that's mentioned in Speculation, which I thought was really cute. I was like, oh, I'm gonna read The Time Guard next, right? Um, and when you did that, were you like wanted to introduce people to works that were very inspiring to you when you were a child, or was
Yeah,
that intentional?
yeah, I did want people to read it, but I also want people to think about how the effect of having this mostly white uh, cast of characters had, what that effect had on me and has on so many Black children, so many children of all these different races, you know, like it starts out with Winna reading about her, about these parents being eaten by cannibals on an island. And so Winna totally gets a low-flying haircut on that. She doesn't get the implicit racism in that. She's just thinking about, what if my parents died before I was born? But it's there. It's there. I want people to see it and not just gloss over it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I'd love for them to experience it the way I did.
So tell us about Winna, Estelle, and Winna's little sister. I feel like I'm gonna mispronounce her
Oh,
name. Um,
Tupelo.
Tupelo. Yes. Well,
Okay, tell you about them. Well, they're so based on people I love, people I'm related to. Winna Ann Anderson is actually one of my ancestors. So I named Winna after her. Um, and Estelle, I had two ancestors named Estelle, one of whom died tragically very young, just like great aunt Estelle does. Yeah. Um, Tupelo is really modeled on my younger sister, putting the fingers in her mouth and whining and yeah.
You got
So
glasses or my glasses? You get to talk to Mom. Why not I talk to Mom?
exactly. But
Yeah, my younger sister would kill me if I wrote something, modeled it after her, and then published it. So,
well,
so hopefully your younger sister is much better than mine. Okay, so Cyrus asks, do you need to be in a mood to write, or is it what they say is automatically channeled?
Someone I met the other day was like, oh, it's great that you have like your office desk right in your bedroom because then when you feel inspired, you can write. I'm like, I can tell you are not a writer because you have to write whether you're inspired or not. And sometimes the act of writing will get you inspired, and that's really nice. But whatever, you just do it. You just do it.
So I guess then that's a good segue to my next question about speculation. So were you like, I am going to write a middle grade fantasy, and then you crafted an outline, you sat at your desk, you're like, I want to tell Winna's story. How did what was the start?
I never outline. I mean, I'll outline after the fact to figure out what I did, but I don't start from an outline. I started from Winna, and from wanting from wanting magic. I mean, as a child, I always wanted magic, so it was easy for me to project that on her. Yeah. You know, truthfully, I thought at first, okay, this novel took me a really long time. It took me 6 years. I recently went and found this notebook on my altar about writing speculation from 20 years ago.
Oh wow.
So I cannot honestly tell you how I got started on that. Oh, just a second. My cat is ringing the bells on the door, which means she wants to go outside.
Okay. Okay. Come right back.
Yeah.
So Tanasha, thank you for letting me know that it's you, the replay I should have known. If you please don't silence yourself. I can handle a lot of commentary. So when I was saying like, please bring in facts, there was no sarcasm or shade behind that. Tanasha, the rest, if anybody has questions for Nisi, please drop them in the chat. I can ask questions all day. But that makes this a whole lot less fun. So if you have questions for Nisi, please drop them in the chat. I can see them clearly now, even though I don't have Winna's really cool glasses. Yay! Awesome.
Cat is outside.
What did you say?
Oh, the cat is outside now. All is well until the cat wants inside.
Back in, and then we'll navigate that. Awesome. Tell us about the setting, both in terms of time and geography. Because as a reader, it was very rich, and I was definitely in that world. But and I read the author's note, which further contextualized it for me. But tell us, like, what you want readers to take from it, the setting, both in terms of time and geography.
So it's set in 1962. When I actually was more like Tupelo's age than Winna's age. But I had to get it close to the Civil War for reasons that I won't go into until you've read the book. So it's a very rich time for me. I'm actually working now on another a novella set in that time in 1963. You know, it was a very hopeful, optimistic time for Black people. It really was. You know, Reverend King was still alive. Malcolm X was still alive. It was all about progress. And that setting, I've written at length about how people have sort of pigeonholed Black community experience as belonging just to urban centers like Detroit and Chicago. And, you know, the small towns, the rural areas, those were ours too. We've always been everywhere. Okay, there are Black people. I've seen Black people. I've met them in Idaho. You know, I mean everywhere. So I wanted to emphasize that with what I wrote too, and we have this like real nostalgic for me setting. I hope that did it. You found it rich? Okay, good.
I did. I mean, like, rich, nostalgic, like there's some historical references, like, you know, when it's at a basketball game and they're like, we're going across the street because we're going to call your mom from there. Like, they're going to somebody's house. And somebody reminds her, like, okay, you got to talk quick. This is a long distance call.
Yeah.
And then some of the television shows, and they're like, yeah, we turned on the radio station and we're playing Ray Charles. So, like, the setting, particularly in terms of time, it's not just like, and this is blah, blah, blah. It was more like what they're experiencing, how they're moving in the world. You're like, oh, this is the time that we're in, what they're talking about, what they're referring to. And I thought, to me, that felt very rich, right, and multi-sensory. So
good.
Good. Got that. I see a comment. Okay. Cyrus agrees, lots of stories in those small towns and in the Midwest, not just in the big cities. So,
yeah.
So, looking at the cover, we can tell like the book is about magic, particularly Black girl magic. But embedded in the story is also a really fun whodunit mystery, which I loved, which I enjoyed. I grew up reading a lot of Nancy Drew. So, and it becomes a way for Winna to also bond with
Cousin Benny.
Half the time a protector, half the time a bully. What was your experience in, like, as a child with whodunits, with mystery novels, and then your decision as a writer to weave that into speculation?
So when I was a child, I was such a know-it-all that I sometimes was nicknamed Encyclopedia. And then there were these series of books about a kid named Encyclopedia Brown who solved all these mysteries. Now, Encyclopedia Brown was not brown. Encyclopedia Brown was white. So, you know, again, I wanted to, like, you know, sort of subvert that with Cousin Benny. And I knew that that kind of drive to solve mysteries was an important one to a lot of people. So I wanted to make sure to include it via him. And he's kind of a hard ass, actually. But hopefully I can do a sequel, and the sequel will be from his viewpoint when he gets to solve more mysteries.
Yay, I love Cousin Benny. And I think my next question is, Cousin Benny is smart, right? One
Yes.
acknowledges that when it's like a nerd smart. And I think what the books made clear is that Cousin Benny is smart, even if the teachers don't realize it, and even if we can't see it in his grades. What was your decision in framing his smartness, his ability to ask questions, to put together, like, you know, his deductive reasoning, even though it may not be equated to quote unquote academic smartness?
Well, that is sadly typical. My youngest sister, for instance, was highly intelligent, but not intelligent in the way that teachers could see. I don't know if it's because I'm light-skinned or what, but they were like, all the teachers were like, oh yeah, you're the smart one. But there were plenty of smart kids in those classes. Just, over and over again, I would see demonstrations of their intelligence and things that the teachers totally ignored. So sadly, that is from life also. I'm thinking about, I think that cousin Benny may be slightly dyslexic as well. Which is something that both Nalo Hopkinson and Samuel Delaney share. So it's probably pretty common for intelligent Black people to be dyslexic. So we'll see how that plays out in the sequel.
Yeah, and you're right, because, he's taking his notes, and when it makes that observation, like he's reversing his E's, I think there's something else, maybe his S's. And I read that. I identify as dyslexic, and it didn't click in my mind. But then you said that, I was like, oh yeah. Octavia Butler. I think I read that Octavia Butler was also dyslexic, and that every time I write a sister neurodivergent, I feel seen. The Reed Queen also says that they loved Encyclopedia Brown and the Boxcar Children.
Oh, E. Nesbitt, the Boxcar Children. Yes.
Ebony Notes. And if you like planners and books, Ebony Notes is a great Instagram account to follow. But Ebony Notes is also a teacher and says as an educator, I see that in a lot of kids, and that's when we're talking about being intellectually smart, but maybe not translating into the classroom. Osiris says, do you feel that the creative and artists were children that were misunderstood?
I'm sorry, but I need to know the creative and the artist. What?
So do you think that people who are creatives and that become artists are typically children who are misunderstood?
Not always, but quite a few. Even though I was accepted, I don't think that I was understood, not by a long stretch. And my sister Julie, the model for Tupelo, also very much imaginative and creative, and she was actually given ADD drugs when she was younger, a very early generation of them that I feel were harmful to her, to her development, because they gave them to her at a young age, and they were just really experimental. So yeah, I would say yes, creative people and artists of all sorts are typically misunderstood. I'm not even sure, is misunderstood implies that it's by accident. And I think that it might be deliberate. It's like it's trying, the system is trying to get people to conform, and that if you don't conform, too bad.
Non-conformers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's powerful. Thank you for that question, Osiris. I will come back. I love that. So in the beginning, before Winna is given the glasses, she's like, I'm looking for this magical object. And not like, oh, if I happen to see something, I'm like, where's this magic? Where's the magical book? Where's the map? Where's the key? Where's the sword? And I love that. I was like, I should have looked more for magical objects. And then the magical object ends up being these glasses that Grandpa Carl gives her, fly glasses. I've worn glasses my whole life. I'm not wearing them now because I'm trying to be cute, but I will probably wear glasses to the day that I die. So I love that the glasses are magical. But why did you choose glasses as a magical object?
Oh, it seems to me they're very, very powerful. They change what you see, and they change how people see you. So I wanted something that was full of that kind of power. Yeah.
When did you start wearing glasses? Like, and I asked this because I started wearing glasses, like, I think I was in the fourth grade. Like, I was really, really young.
I was younger. I think I was like maybe in second grade. And thank goodness that I got glasses, because before then I was like so nearsighted anyway. I think a lot of my social difficulties came from the fact that people were looking at me and smiling and waving, and I couldn't see them.
Like, I cannot see your facial expression right now. I cannot. Like, people are
Yeah.
just
I'm
observing us.
going over here, and they probably thought I was stuck up, whereas I was just blind.
Like, it's not like I'm ignoring you. I just literally can't see you. I'm reading some of the comments. So the Read Queen says, so many of us have been stifled or even stigmatized for not conforming. So going back to our conversations about like the childhood of artists and creatives. And Osiris says, thank you very much for that answer. And then Ebony Note says they started wearing glasses when they were in middle school. So a lot of young people who started wearing reading glasses. Yeah, so they'll also relate to speculation. For those of you in the chat, I'll ask, have you read Speculation? Have you checked it out from your library? Have you bought it from one of your favorite indie bookstores who is hosting this live? You don't even have to leave Instagram. Like, I posted the book to this chat, and thanks to Nisi Shawl and Lee and Low, we have signed, I'm holding an advanced reader's copy, but we have signed paperbacks available of this beautiful book.
Wait,
So,
no, signed hardcovers, right?
I say the same. Yes, signed hardcovers. You're right.
Yeah.
Signed hardcovers.
Cool.
We have signed hardcovers of this beautiful book. So let's talk about the artwork.
Oh, yeah.
How did that happen? Like, yes, tell me about the process.
So I had a completely different vision for the cover. Okay, there was not going to be anybody's face. It was just going to be like you were looking through the glasses yourself, which someone pointed out to me, well, that would make a great interior illustration, but you really need to get Winna's face on there. And they were right. Am I lying? They were right. It's really important that people need to know that there is a Black person at the heart of this story, that this is a story about them. So then they gave me like a bunch of artists to choose from, and I wanted a couple of different ones because they had this feeling of magic is real. I can't put it any other way. They are very realistic, not real cartoony or anything, but they were like fantastic as well. So very imaginative. And the only change I made from the first sketch that I was given is that the Winna has a button-down shirt rather than like a knit top, and that was to make it more period, more true to the 1962 than to 1970 or whatever.
That makes perfect sense. And then the cover of the artwork is by Hillary D. Wilson. So, like, did Lee and Lo say, like, these are the artists, and, like, here's Hillary's work, and okay, and you're like, Hillary and this other person, their magic speaks to me, and then we went with Hillary.
Yes, and the expression on Winna's face is just, I could stare at that for hours, She's sort of knowing, and she's sort of questioning, she's sort of happy and sort of sad. It's just a perfect blend as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, Hillary. Agree.
And I mean, like, she's not smiling, which is great. There's so much, like, women should smile more. It's like we can not smile. And then also, like, it speaks to the core of the story, like Hillary captures the magic of the glasses in this cover, which was very exciting for me.
Yeah, in fact, the sort of like misty shapes on there, if you look very closely, you can see sort of outlines of a human body in there. So It's like a silhouette of somebody sort of gradually coming to coalesce. Exactly.
I
Yeah.
did not see that before. That is cool. Okay, and is it a spoiler to show the family trees in the back?
I don't think so. I mean,
Okay.
nobody's going to be able to see them in detail, right, and follow
Yes.
them.
But I love seeing like the family trees in the back of the book. Um, it made me happy. And I think I have like a very mixed relationship to that. So I'm a first generation Kenyan American. So it's like multi-generational lineage is kind of like becomes a bit broken, right, as an immigrant.
Yeah.
So it's just nice to like, oh, you can go back like so many generations. Like, how cool is that? So I'm glad that that was included, and it's a rich part of the story. So there's Winna's ancestors, and then also the experience, because like there's also an aspect of the experience of time travel, right? Like she doesn't actually go to the past, but she gets to experience it.
She gets to see
What
it.
were your thoughts?
She gets to see it through her glasses. Yeah. Yeah, it's like viewing the past at least. Like I said, glasses, very powerful. Spectacles. Yep. Yeah.
And I love that. So when you thought about how she interacts with her ancestors and how she sees it, because because it's the glasses, it's not multi-sensory, right? There's some parts that she doesn't experience. How did you think about how that unfolds for both Winna and then how it unfolds for the reader?
How it unfolds for her was more my concern, and then the reader has to kind of follow along with her. She's learning as she goes, and so that means that the reader gets to learn as Winna learns as she goes. There's that whole thing of figuring out how the magic rules, how they work, and you can get into a lot of trouble. I think she mentions again Edward Eger. There was a book called Magic by the Lake, and all the wishes had to be wet. They had to be concerned with water, so they had to be like about mermaids or sea monsters or something. But not like playing chess or something, and figuring out how the magic kind of backfired on them when they forgot those rules. That is a lot of the fun of that kind of book to me, and I hope for the people that read it.
I enjoyed that. Like, what I enjoy, like when people like have read a lot, honestly, in speculative fiction, and that reading actually helps them navigate like in real life. So she's like, yeah, there are rules for this magic, and like she's very intentional about like, what are the rules? Like, can I make a wish? What do I need to make a wish? I love that, and like she was like, I need to figure out what the rules are, and that was really cool. I missed a lot of comments, so I'm gonna go and read the comments.
Okay.
So the
All right.
Queen says, as someone who grew up in glasses as a kid and hated it, I'm happy to see it, glasses literally and figuratively being powerful. Amir. Osiris says, seems that all the smart people wear glasses and are left-handed. Go for it. Are you left-handed? You're left-handed. Are you left-handed, Nisi?
No.
Right.
No.
I'm also right-handed, but I think that's because that's what my parents wanted. The Read Queen read the excerpt. The Read Queen read the excerpt and ordering it for my stepson, nephew, and myself. Yay! That's awesome! That's awesome. Will there be an audiobook in the near future? I didn't think I had pre-ordered the audiobook on Libra FM.
They had to do some extra negotiations with the contract, but there should be one. There's interest in doing one. I'll just say that. So far,
Okay.
all we have is the ebook and the print, but who knows? Maybe, wouldn't it be nice if there was like a TV show?
TV, like sequel, TV show, ebooks, anytime, all type of adaptations, cartoons. So yes to all of that. Um, Timothy responded to Osiris's comment. Amina wants us to show the cover. Yes, I can show the cover again. I'll just hold it while I read the rest of these comments. I've been notes this beautiful cover.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, so Ebony Notes asks, is it appropriate for middle schoolers or upper elementary age students? I have my answer, but Nisi, I'll let you answer.
I think it is. Sometimes the vocabulary may be a bit much. I think at one point Winna uses the word scruples, which is not necessarily a third grade word. But there's a lot of, you can do a lot with context and, you know, just reading it as a group, you might be able to answer each other's questions. So.
Agreed. Yeah, I can't. My niece may be a little young for it, but I'm gonna see what she can do. So I'm excited to read this with my niece. I think we're slowly graduating from picture books. Rooted in Black Co says the cover is stunning. Obviously, I agree. And then I lost my train of thought. Cover, middle grade. Oh, so you mentioned earlier the possibility of a sequel written from Benny's point of view. What would have to happen to make that a reality?
Well, I'd have to get the publisher interested in doing it, and so that depends, I guess, on the sales of this one. You know, if there's a lot of demand for this one and a lot of notice and buzz and awards and good figures, then I guess I get to do a sequel. I already have some of the ideas behind it plotted out. I know what happens to Winna and Tupelo. I know that Benny goes and visits Uncle True and the insurance agent. And yeah. But yeah, buy it, make everybody else buy it, and then maybe we'll see a sequel.
Awesome. Okay, so like that's something. Nisi said it, not me. Speculation. Purchase it. Check it out from your library. Borrow it from a friend. Have a friend buy it and lend it to you. And you know, I love it if you got it from Sistah Sci-Fi, but from anywhere.
And nominate it for awards.
And nominated for awards. Yeah, and I feel like I should have a process to support that process. So that's great. What are you reading right now?
Mostly these days, see, I have eye problems. I have glaucoma. So most of what I read now is things by my students. So I've been reading, like this one person put out this sort of future, some meteorite has struck the earth, and there's like this winter has fallen over most of North America, and there are these zeppelins and stuff. So I've been reading that. Another student has written a novel they call Spiral, where the rules of physics have been changed so that instead of like a globe as the world, we have this sort of spiral that has seas corkscrewing up around like a sort of an island base, floating in space. It sounds nuts, but it is really, really cool and really weird. And people do magic by burning their memories.
Oh.
Yeah, that is some really cool stuff. And what else have I been reading? I read Spear by Nicola Griffith, which is a sort of a queering of Arthurian romance. And I read The Siren Queen by Ni Vo, Nghi Vo, V-O. It's like magic that takes place in a sort of an alternate 1920s Hollywood. It's really cool. All this stuff is so weird and so great.
No, that sounds absolutely amazing. I've seen the Siren Queen, and also like you read a lot. I mean, obviously, because any one of those projects would have taken me out. So yeah, so that sounds amazing. All the stories sound amazing. I see Siren Queen a lot on my Instagram, and my to be read list also gives me anxiety. So, but now I have to maybe adjust something around. Timothy says he's going to see if he can get Speculation at his favorite local library. And Osiris says, "Wow, also impressed by your reading list." So yeah. So I want to ask a question, but it's not about speculation. It's about kinning.
Okay, all right.
Have like what as a fan of Everfair, what should I be most excited about in kinning?
Okay, so yeah, Kinning as a sequel to Everfair. I'm focusing at first, at least, on just 4 viewpoints, and the 4 viewpoints are Tink, the Chinese engineer, his sister Bilung, the pharmacist, and then Princess Mwadi, and who's the princess of Everfair. Her dad is the king, Mwenda, and her brother Ilunga. So it's like a couple of brother-sister pairs. And Rima Bailey, she and Princess Mwadi become a thing.
Oh, because I was it's been a while. I was sad when the French woman, that was the
Lisa,
one that was, yeah, I was like, wait, we going to Rima? I was in my feelings. I won't lie. So I'm happy that Rima is back and part of the thing.
yeah, she's got royalty now. She doesn't need Lisette. Come on.
I'm here for it. That makes me incredibly happy, and I'm very excited about Kinning. So yes. So going back to some of the comments.
Okay.
Osiris asked, does Amazon have it? And I will be honest, yes, Amazon has all the books. But I would say, like, if at all possible, please buy the book from an independent bookstore. Check it out from your local library before you give any more of your money to Amazon. But that is not said with judgment. It's just a thought. Timothy says he found it on his library app. So yeah. And again, so yes, awesome. This is my favorite question because I watch a lot of. But the Read Queen also says that if for some reason you don't want to buy it from Sistah Sci-Fi, you can also, it's also available on bookshop.org, and then you can also buy it online and support any indie bookstore of your choice. What television shows are you watching, Nisi?
I am rewatching for the 3rd time a television series, a streaming series called Get Shorty. Okay, so I will just tell you that I generally don't care for science fiction movies or short story or series. I don't know why. The only one that I've enjoyed lately was that William Gibson one. Gosh, now what is that called? I was just writing about it on Instagram, as a matter of fact.
Let me go to your Instagram. William Gibson. Hold on. I'm also checking the chat because usually when this happens, somebody's like, "Oh, I found it." William, let me go to your. How long ago was the post?
Oh, a long, long, long time
Oh, I
ago.
see it. There are peripheral. That's
the peripheral. That's
okay.
it.
Okay.
So that one was good, but Get Shorty is more the mystery kind of thing, which actually translates better to visual media, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a movie called Get Shorty with John Travolta, and that's pretty good. But this is a series, like several seasons, with Chris O'Dowd, has this fantastic, like 50, 60-year-old fat Latina as a family crime boss,
Oh.
right? And she's like, she wears like these big chunky jewels, and she has like lovers, and she's like the kind of older woman that I would really love to be, you know. And there's a Mormon hitman. There's just like some very clever dialogue. So I watched that. I watched Peaky Blinders twice. Um, uh, just again, historical crime, you betcha.
Okay.
What else? Anything that's like got a bunch of white people killing a bunch of white people.
There's so
As
much to say about that.
as my friend Temple says, you love that white on white crime.
Yeah, why don't I cry? And historical aspects of it. So that was the question I was going to ask you earlier, and then it left me. So a lot of the novels and the work that I've read by you have been historical fantasies. Is that an aspect of your work that you feel like will stay consistent? If so, why not? Or why not?
You know, I don't know. It's like the stuff that I write about has turned out to be history. Seriously, I was alive when Ray Charles was singing Georgia on the radio, you know, and because I care about being a kid, I do my best to preserve those memories and transmit them. And so I guess that becomes historical. Yep, it does. The other stuff, Everfair, you know, that takes place well before I was born.
Yes.
But I don't know. I feel a kinship, a longing for all of these people who went before. Maybe it will be. I also write about the future, though. You know, I have that story 2043, a mermaid I pretend to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And the future is right in the title. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah. No, but I mean it is set in the future, and then there's like all the the Making Amends series, the Penal Colony in Space series. So yeah, sure.
Perfect. Yes. Thank you for that reminder. And I enjoyed 23, A Mermaid. Yes. A Mermaid. Which I feel like I need to reread this year because it's 2023. So going back to the comments, the Reed Queen says you would enjoy Three Pines.
Oh yes, I love Three Pines. That's another one. Yep.
Boom. And the Reed Queen says just finished the new Perry Mason reboot and loved it. And then Osiris says the movie Be Cool by F. Gary. That's Timothy and Osiris are having a conversation. Osiris says I worked for Mr. Ray Charles and Mr. James Brown. We got stories. Okay. And F.D. Scott says, what surprised you most about speculation? And I guess as you wrote it, and I don't think she means me as a reader.
Okay, so what surprised me most? I guess what surprised me most was editors' reactions to it. They all wanted more stories by Grandpa Carl.
I love the stories by Grandpa Carl.
Originally, there were only 2, and then there's like, what, now 6, 8? Yeah. So that surprised me, but he had a lot to say. He had a lot to share. Yeah. It also surprised me that I was able to keep such a balance. I mean, I'm surprised that I was able to keep such a balance between the pagan and the Christian elements of it, because I didn't think that it was possible to have both positively represented, but it was.
Yeah, that was a great question. I loved it. We are at time. Yeah, no, I mean, like, it's, I mean, I don't, it's a good thing. I mean, it's, Nisi, I appreciate, one, your time so much and your craft. I'm so delighted by speculation. I enjoyed getting to, like, adventure with Winna and, meet her and her family and her family legacy. Such a fun book. I can't wait to have you back for possibly New Sons 2 and definitely for Kenning, if we can make that happen, but no pressure.
I'm still editing. I'm still revising Kenning. Seriously.
Okay. And really no, like whenever that happens, absolutely no pressure. Yeah, so I just want to express my gratitude. For everybody else, we have signed hardcovers of Speculation available for purchase on sisterscifi.com, or you can check it out from your library or get it from another independent bookstore or get it wherever you buy your books. Nisi, anything you would like to say in closing?
Thank you so much for inviting me, and I had a great time, and I love the questions. I love interacting with you.
I love interacting with you. Timothy says, thank you, Isis and Nisi. I can't wait to read your book, Nisi, when it's available. So yeah, that's what Timothy says. Yay! I will let you enjoy the rest. And the Read Queen also says, thank you for being so generous with your time. That is also to you. And Osiris says, great energy. And that is also to you, Nisi.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Yay. Awesome. Okay. We will talk soon. Thank you so much, Nisi.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.